As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
All right, guys, we're coming with some breaking information before our regular scheduled show on Nancy Guthrie. We are learning right now that a former Democrat Virginia lieutenant governor there's a murder-suicide right now. Him and his wife are dead right now. So I wanted to take a few moments before we do our intro and start getting into the show to deliver this breaking news information related to this former governor. And then we'll also play the video. So the former Democrat Virginia Lieutenant Governor Justin Fairfax has killed his wife and then himself in a shocking murder-suicide early this morning, according to Fairfax County Police Department. Justin Fairfax shot several times and killed his wife, ran to a different part of the home, and then killed himself with the same firearm he just got unseen. I don't know what that means, said the chief. Davis said that the couple was no longer together, but were still living in the same house. That's always a bad idea. The couple was going through a divorce with upcoming court dates, and according to the police chief, that Fairfax had recently been served legal documents related to it. We know that because when Mr. Fairfax calls us to their home back in January and alleged that his wife assaulted him in the home, we were able to get to those cameras and determine that the alleged assault never occurred. So we are learning right now that former Virginia Lieutenant Governor, Justin Fairfax, and his wife right now are deceased. They are deceased. So anybody that's out there in the Virginia area, I'm really sorry to hear this. I'm really sorry that this is going on in your backyard. And I just wanted to bring this breaking news information to all of you before we started our show related to Nancy Guthrie. And we have just a little more tidbit of information that we're going to go to right now.
Former Lieutenant Governor Justin Fairfax shot and killed his wife inside of their home and then shot and killed himself. I think you have the rest of the details that Captain Cosgriff gave earlier this morning, so I'm just going to pause right here and answer any of your questions to the best of my ability right now. I can just tell you, and then I'll go to Drew first, that this has been an ongoing domestic dispute surrounding what seems to be a complicated or messy divorce. So, Drew.
And Chief, that was going to be my question. Can you elaborate on what the investigation has revealed about the status of their marriage?
Can you elaborate on the status of their marriage and, basically how did we got here?
So far, what we know is probably what you all know, and I don't think it's a secret that there's been a divorce proceedings that have been ongoing. From what I understand in this early stage, former Lieutenant Governor Fairfax was recently served some paperwork associated with an upcoming court proceeding that apparently led to this incident last night. Both of their children, teenagers, the boys older than the girl, were in the house when it happened. So that's horrible news for the family. Certainly a traumatic event for those children to live through. But we know that it all kind of culminated last night when Justin Fairfax shot several times and killed his wife, ran to a different part of the home, and then killed himself with the same firearm.
I know you just got on scene, but from your briefing, what?
So you guys got the gist of this. Just really want to just shout out to the Virginia state. You know, we're sorry you guys are going through this. The area in which this is happening in Virginia state, I'm pretty sure that this has got to be awful. And we just want to say prayers for the family, the Fairfax family, especially their teenage children. So we had breaking news. I wanted to get that breaking news. Now we're going to be getting back. Oops, sorry. We're going to be getting back to our regular program show.
Bullhorn Betty rocks.
Coffee steaming, files on the table. We clocking early, hunt what's unstable. Bullhorn Betty on the curb, voice raised. Flip-flop queen with the homemade phrase. Notebook thick, got the screenshots flag. Names in red ink, every rumor, every tag. Late night live stream, screen glow on her face. Truth in her throat, got a lawman's pace. She don't blink when the threats roll through. Come see me, she says, if you think that's cute. Bullhorn Betty in the coffee club. We hunt bad guys till the sun comes up. From the front porch steps to the courthouse rug. We fighting for the ones that they gave up. Bullhorn Betty in the coffee club. Sip that truth from a styrofoam cup. From the quiet streets to the madhouse buzz. We ain't letting go till we get that justice. Insane Asylum, that's our crew nickname. Laugh so loud while we track these names. Whiteboard wild with the webs we spin. Pen to pen, see the pattern sink in. Turbo shaking when the case goes cold. We stir it back up, won't do what we're told. Doorstep question, side eye stare. Where were you that night? We hanging right there. Bullhorn Betty in the coffee club. We hunt bad guys till the sun comes up. From the front porch steps to the courthouse rug. We fighting for the ones that they gave up. Bullhorn Betty in the coffee club. Sip that truth from a styrofoam cup. From the quiet streets to the madhouse buzz. We ain't letting go till we get that justice. This for the faces on the milk cart labels. This for the families praying at tables. This for the names that the news won't say. We say them out loud every single day. Every day. If you're running in the dark, better feel that fear. Betty got a bullhorn right in your ear. Coffee club crazy, but we think so clear. One small town, whole world gonna hear. Hey! Bullhorn Betty in the coffee club. We hunt bad guys till the sun comes up. From the front porch steps to the courthouse rug. We fighting for the ones that the day gave up. Bullhorn Betty in the coffee club. Sip that truth from a styrofoam cup. From the quiet streets to the madhouse buzz. We ain't letting go till we take red
My beautifuls, we had breaking news, but now the breaking news has kind of come and gone. As many of you know, let me get my my new thumbnail up. I saw this coming in while I was trying to get everything set up this morning, and I realized that we needed to go live, so that's what I did. All right, there we go. It's nice to see you guys. It's nice to see you. So I'm Bullhorn Betty. We've been covering the case of Miss Nancy Guthrie. Today is day 75 of this case, and there is a lot of information that has not come out related to this case that should be out, according to everything that we believe. And we believe that law enforcement should be putting more out about the assailant. They according to other retired FBI agents, they have a whole behavioral unit. And in that behavioral unit, they do things like profiling, where because we don't know what's inside that house. We don't know what law enforcement saw. We don't know, where the blood starts and where the trail ends. We don't know what the bed looks like. We truly don't know how the assailant got into the house. Law enforcement at this point should have all of that information. And so they can build and identify a profile based upon those critical information. We had Brian Enton have Criminal Minds lady come on up, and I can't remember what her name is, please forgive me, but she was one of the people that helped develop the FBI behavioral unit and this whole, profiling. And so what it is it's my understanding, and this is just, I'm sure, a very scratch of the surface type of explanation of it, but it's basically crawling into the mind of criminals and trying to figure out who they are. And there's a science to it that they've developed, some type of science to that. Now, how that works and everything like that, I'm very ignorant to. I don't know. I'm not in that aspect. We just know that this exists out there, and we know that they've profiled this assailant that they saw on this door, and they would also know whether or not that there's multiple people or this one person. And so I'm really interested because we have nobody has been coming out and speaking. Chris Nanos hasn't provided us an update either to any news organization. No updates whatsoever. We never really get a press conference or an update from the FBI until somebody is ultimately arrested. So we're not getting any information, and this is creating, excuse me, my air conditioning's on, my hair is blowing all over, it's driving me nuts. This is creating this vacuum where everybody is kind of filling all of this silence, and they're filling all of this silence with noise, whether it's legitimate or not. And so that's kind of where we are. And although I feel like I've been watching everything, and this is just an analytical, viewership, so to speak, of it. What the hell? Oh my gosh, apparently it reset. Okay, let me stop that. That startled the shit out of me. I will not lie to you. Not lie to you. Gracious. We're okay, folks. We're okay. I'm pretty sure you guys could hear that coming through. I'm pretty sure, because I didn't silence the computer, so I'm pretty sure you guys heard that. That was just really crazy. If you guys didn't, something just started playing on my computer, and it startled me right dead in the middle of my commentary. I forgot where we were going with this. But at the end of the day, law enforcement has this behavioral unit. They're able to get a profile. A few law enforcement, retired FBI agents says that it'll be very, very good. They need to put that out. They need to put that out to all of us so we can start identifying and trying to hone in on who this person is. Somebody knows who this person is. Law enforcement hasn't definitively said whether there's one person or two people in this house. I truly believe they know the answer to this. But because we're not getting any kind of statement from them, they're not giving any press conferences, that nobody's talking. FBI never speaks. We're in this area where all this noise is filling the silence. And we really need to get something moving in this case. She needs to come home. This case needs to it's going to be a lesson case because it defies logic. This is going to be a lesson case. This is going to be one of those cases where in the future, we're going to be like, remember that at that case, and this might be that one of those outlier cases that everybody focuses on in the future. But I really don't think it is. I think this is pretty standard stuff. I think, we're dealing with either a resentment or a resentful person here, or we're dealing with somebody that had another motive to go in there. I think because we've been focused so much on money, and that has gone literally nowhere this entire case, I really don't think this is about money. I just don't. So, I'm going to go through the timeline with all of you, and then we're going to be going over, and I think because I'm about to open up the panel for anybody that would like to come up here and talk about some things. And here's kind of the focus. I'm going to give you guys some instructions on how we do this. If you guys would like to come up, it's kind of like phoning in. You don't have to show your face if you don't want to. there's an option to turn off your camera. So it's down at the bottom when you go into StreamYard. It is easier, in my opinion, it is easier going into StreamYard from a computer than it is from your phone. But if you do go in from your phone, go in through Chrome, okay? And when you get there, it's going to make you say you want to use your camera and you want to use your microphone. It may even send you over to your settings part of your app so you can enable your microphone and your camera. So you might want to go ahead and do that. I'll go ahead and put this down in the chat in just a few moments when I set it up. And you might want to go ahead and go through that process while we're still talking and start waiting in the staging room until I go over there so you know that everything's set up. It'll tell you. You'll be able to tell whether you can turn your microphone on or turn it off, or your camera on and camera off, and that'll tell you whether or not you're doing it right or not, okay? So just wanted to make sure you guys knew how that all worked, and then I'll bring you guys up on stage. We can take 6 people at one time. We haven't had 6 people on stage at any given time. It's only been like 3 or 4 people at any given time. So I think that's pretty, I think we'll have a pretty good conversation. So whoever would like to come up, and again, you don't have to show your face. It's not to put you in front, but many people, they don't, you know, they have some questions. They want to talk about it. They want their voice heard. They want their perspective heard. They want to deliberate over their perspective. And so we're giving that opportunity for you to go over that here and have some discussion on it. This is kind of, you know, a safe space. We're not going to be critical or criticizing, but we will be asking questions, you know. We will be pushing people to think a little bit harder and clearer and things of that nature. So I think it'll be very, very good. But we're going to be looking at, like, what are the important facts and what are the confusing facts? What theories are there? We're going to be listing all of those theories. So those are the 3 main focal points of what I'm going to be discussing and having you guys answer in chat here. So I want you guys to just start thinking about that stuff now. Start thinking about that stuff now. Okay, before we get started, I want to go over the timeline. I think the timeline is super, super important with everybody. So let's just go, and this is more of a thorough timeline than one that I've got on my background. So I wanted to go through this with you guys. So give me just a second. And as you see, it gives, I'm just going to read everything. Nancy Guthrie, mother of TV host Savannah Guthrie, disappeared from her Tucson, Arizona home on February 1st, 2026 in a suspected kidnapping. Key evidence included a 2:12 a.m. masked suspect on a camera, a 2:28 pacemaker app disconnected, and it says a $50,000 reward. We know that that reward's up to over $1.2 million as we sit today. The investigation into the 84-year-old's abduction remains active as early April 2026, and today is April 16th. Today marks the 75th day that she has been missing and this search has been underway. So here is some critical information related to the timeline. January 31st from 5:32 to 9:48, Nancy Guthrie dines with her family and is dropped off at her home. On February 1st at 1:47 a.m., it says doorbell camera, but I don't know if that's disconnected. Otherwise, how in the world were they able to see the suspect? So doorbell camera disconnects from where? Her phone? Was the assailant already in the house and already disconnected her phone from the front camera? What do they mean by disconnect? I think, that just popped in my head as I was speaking here, and we've never asked what that meant. We just assumed that this was the moment when something was either broken or ripped off. But that, I warn and caution everybody about the jumping to conclusions. And then, of course, at February 1st at 2:12, the masked gunman is recorded on a home camera, later identified via forensic review. But guess what? The masked gunman was on the doorbell camera. So again, this is a good question to ask. I think it was a camera disconnects. I think we're going to find out a secondary camera, maybe in the back of the home, was disconnected at 1:47, and then we see the masked gunman trying to disconnect the camera on the front side of the home. That's probably what might make sense. We don't know. We don't know because nobody told us. So at 2:12, we see a masked armed gunman recorded on the camera at the front door. February 1st at 2:28, although we can't see it, law enforcement let us know that Miss Guthrie had a pacemaker. She had, this is at the same time we learned that she needed life-sustaining medication, and that very pacemaker disconnected from her Apple Watch at 2:28 a.m., which marks basically the time she was physically removed from that home. And then later that morning, around 11:56, is when the family went and checked on her. But there's a few things we don't have in our timeline. We know that exist, and it was the church. Somebody from the church called a family member to let them know their mother did not show up. Who was that person, and at what time did that call come in? We do not have that. That to me is a very important and crucial piece of information for the timeline. Then by February 2nd, authorities confirmed the investigation into a suspected kidnapping. By the 3rd, the reports of the ransom email demanding Bitcoin. So as you see, she was taken in the early morning hours of February 1st, yet the first ransom email was not provided until February 3rd. Then on February 4th, FBI immediately offers a $50,000 reward. Forensic confirms the blood on the porch belongs to Miss Guthrie. By the 12th, authorities find a black glove and use a height chart to identify the height of the suspect, 5'9" to 5'10". By mid-February to April, the search continues, including SWAT operations near her home, family offering up to $1 million for her return. And we also had $100,000 of that $1.2 million from an attorney out of state. She was last known to be in the Catalina foothills at her home in her bed. The suspect profile is a masked, armed, 9 foot to 5'10", 5'9" to 5'10", uses a black Ozark Trail hiking backpack. I believe he purchased that. I don't see where this guy would have gotten it secondhand. I really don't, but there's a possibility for anything. I don't know. And of course, Savannah Guthrie is a very public individual. And so that's kind of where we are with the timeline. So thanks for bearing with me while we got through the timeline. That's more of a thorough timeline. So I'm going to say hi to everybody, and then we're going to get into all of this. So I think we already got through some of these people. Thank you, Melanie, for your super chat. Let me go back to the super chat. It keeps popping up on me. I'm having some technical issues. Not technical hiccup, but just other technical issues. So here it is. Thank you so much, Melanie. She says, happy Thursday, everyone. I hope everyone has a good day. And I appreciate you, BHB. Much love to you and everyone prayers to whomever needs them. So, much love to you and everyone. Prayers to whoever needs them. Thank you. We appreciate you. So, Melanie, good morning. JM, it's nice to see you. Me and you. Hello, Denise, Libby, it's nice to see you. Marilyn, Lady for Justice, YouTuber, it's nice to see you. Danielle, Dreaming of Blue Skies and Sandy Beaches. Captain, it's nice to see you, love. Mama, it's nice to see you as well. Dan, Carol, hello. Trust the process. Jay, Burge, Sugar, Burgess. Good morning. It's nice to see you. Rue, The Real Me Too. All of my mods, it's nice to see you. Patricia, Debbie, Briggs, it's nice to see you. I hope you are doing well. Who else do we have up in chest? Sleuthy TV, hello, my love. Have, it's nice to see you. Let Them 66, Texas Woman. Hello, guys. Come on in. If you guys have not gotten here, we just now started. We're just going through saying hi to everybody in chat. Vicky, Peggy, it's nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. If I'm missing some people, I'm moving fairly quickly because we already have almost 300 people in chat. Crystal Pistol, Sister Karen. Guys, if you can do me a favor while I'm saying hi to everybody, go out there and hit that thumbs up button. If you haven't subscribed to the Bullhorn Betty channel, please consider subscribing. We definitely have some talking points, and we're now starting to incorporate panels back in. We were doing a phone-in show, but now we're incorporating panels. So we're about to put a panel up where you can come in and talk directly to me on camera if you so choose. You can turn your camera off if you so choose, if you like your privacy. But you can, for those that would like to come up here, because I know we have some like new creators in the chat and stuff that have an opinion on this. Come on up. Tell us where you're from. Tell us your channel. It's nice to see you. Blue Catskills, Papa, it's nice to see you. Charlene, Diverse, it's nice to see you. Riley Rue, hello. Charlene, did I say hi to you? I think I might have already said hi, but I don't know. It's nice to see you. Lisa, hello, love. Hello. Oakley, it's nice to see you. Faye, hello. Unicorn, it's nice to see you. Taj, hello. Betty fan up in the chat. The Real Me Too. Pebbles, all of our mods, it's nice to see you all. Bria, it's nice to see you, or Briaz. I can't, Bree, maybe it's Bree, Arizona, AZ. Bree, it's nice to see you. Little Orange Man, hello. And all the other people, I see Unicorn, Lori, it's nice to see you. It's been a while, Lori. Donovan, Faye, Rita, Frank, April. Well, good morning, love. It's nice to see you. Big hugs and love. Tell Mr. Eric I said, hey. Oakley. I said, Unicorn. Raven. Arizona Raven. It's nice to see you. Nina. Hello. Kuna. Maury. It's nice to see you. Brian. Hello. Kaz. It's nice to see you. I hope everybody's doing well. So, as many of you know, she's 84 years old. She was ripped out of her bed in the middle of the night, according to her daughter. We saw a masked gunman at her front door that was released by the FBI. And here we sit wondering what happened to Miss Nancy Guthrie. So now we're going to go ahead and start getting everything scheduled for you guys to come up on the show. And it's going to take me just a second to get everything worked out on this end. And then we're going to bring some people up on chat that would like to speak. So it does something to my camera for some reason when I do this. So let me go ahead and get this up here. Let's turn this off. Let's make sure our settings are right on our audio. Oh, yay. We got it all mic volume. Let's turn the mic volume up just a little bit over there. Perfect. All right, guys. I think that we're going to be good. Oh, here's the StreamYard link. Mods, you might want to keep this StreamYard link going in chat. Or whatever. Oh, let me go over here. Hold on. I'm going to pull up my channel. I'm trying to save. I will try to put the link at the top here for you guys. Give me just a second. Let me go into the, because I can't do it from this side for some reason. I don't know why. Well, I do know why. It's because I'm on OBS. There are limitations. Okay, there we go. Pin the message. Okay, so depending on what device you are on, you'll have the link at the top of your device or at the bottom of your device. I don't know where it's at on the TV. I don't know where it's at on the computer. But if you are on a cell phone, if you are on an Apple phone, it's at the top. If you're on a Samsung, it's at the bottom, or vice versa. Okay, I'm not sure which. But there you guys have it. While we're still talking, this is where you guys may want to go ahead and get your Chrome opened and get your mic set up, get your camera set up if you're going to come on, so you don't have too much technical issues when you start, when we open up the chat. We're not quite there yet. So we're going to have a few more moments of talking. I think I got an intro that I might read here for you guys, but I think we've already gone through most of it here. Let me just go down and see what we got. See if we have anything that I feel is important to talk about. So we know we've seen, let me just go through the information before we open that, so you guys can go ahead and get all of your stuff set up, go ahead and get in line. Well, I don't know how many people can stand in the backstage waiting to be brought up, but I can only bring 6 people up at the time. But like I said, since we've been doing this, we haven't had 6 people up on the show at the same time, so everybody should be fine. But she was last seen January 31st by any third party, right? So her family, her daughter and her daughter's husband and grandchild were the last one from the family to see her before she disappeared. And then, of course, they're the ones that also reported her missing the next day. So the very next day, that was it. The only person that saw her after that moment, or whoever came over to her house, whether that be one person or multiple people, they were the last ones to truly see Miss Guthrie and know exactly what happened. We did hear that did see with our own eyes the masked gunman on the outside of that property, and we learned very quickly that the jacket and the holster came from Walmart. But we saw them tampering with that camera, and we don't know, because law enforcement, we are up to our own devices, even with the timeline. Let's look at this timeline real quick. Let me just show you guys right here. We're up to our own devices because we don't know. They told us that the camera was ripped off at 1:47. The front door bell camera was ripped off at 1:47. Well, if it was ripped off at 1:47, how in the world are we seeing them at 2:12 on that same camera? It doesn't make sense. So this is telling me that this camera was somewhere else. The camera that went offline, unless we're misunderstanding what they're saying by way of offline. Did somebody grab her phone and disable the camera, taking it offline, physically going into her app and disabling that camera? I mean, nobody's asked that question. We just hear that this motion detector is offline. Well, how? Was it offline because it was ripped off the wall, like the front doorbell camera? Did it go offline because the camera itself was smashed? You know, what was the purpose? And I think that we are jumping to conclusions. We don't know. We don't know, and not only do we not know, we have not had anybody that has verified any of those facts to us. I know, I'm doing a bunch.
Grade A ground beef, meaning we dropped it on the ground.
Louise, I'm sorry. Sometimes I forget how horrible you all are at your jobs. You're all horrible! Sorry. I mean, you are horrible, but I shouldn't have said it so loud.
Bob's Burgers. Bob's Burgers. Oh, good gracious. Oh, good gracious. Okay, so let me see how we're doing back there so far. We've got Chris. We know Chris is good. We know Chris is good because he went through 15 hours of making sure that he was good. All right, so let me go ahead and get this all stretched out here. There we go. Okay, I think that's good. Because then I can scroll down here and see these people. Okay, Chris is the first victim to the stage, I think.
I hope. Can you hear me?
We can hear you. All
right. Today worked.
Yes. After you get it set up right the first time, it's funny how it works from there on out.
Well, I work from home, so all of this is connected to my work computer plus you, and it was all a big mess.
Right.
Well, this morning when I was trying to talk for work, nothing was working. So I was like, it's all Betty's fault.
That's all my fault. It always is. So let me ask you this. If we did have a conversation yesterday about the Nancy Guthrie case. What do you think is the most important fact that I think that we're all kind of forgetting, if you will, related to Nancy Guthrie? Do you have something like that?
I mean, I think I have a lot. I mean, the most important fact to me is why, number one, I think somebody mentioned it yesterday, but the doormat in front of the door.
Mm-hmm.
Why wasn't that taken? Why wasn't that checked for anything, DNA from anything? I mean, it could be a zillion people that stepped on that, but the guy on the front porch who went and got the little bush, the little flowers, and came and stood on the front, who knows what was on his shoe?
Mm-hmm.
It's the little stuff like that. And, I think there's a lot of important facts that we haven't gotten any answer to or anything. I guess that's the biggest thing for me is the quiet and who knows that she was ripped out of her bed. This is my big question. Who knows that?
I don't think anybody. Why isn't this going the way I need to go? I don't think anybody knows that whether she's been ripped out of her bed or not. I think people, because Savannah has made that clear. I think it now could it be because she's just assuming because she saw the masked gunman at her mom's front door that her mom would have had to have been in bed, and there's a reason why she knew her mom left in pajamas with no shoes. So I have a tendency to believe,
unless there is inside cameras. So say this is an actual kidnapping. Say this is what it is. I'm still not convinced it is.
Mm-hmm.
But was there cameras in the house? They say there was. Did they see?
Well, they didn't say there was cameras in the house. What their actual statement was is to the effect of there's other cameras around the home. Not necessarily inside, but they did reference there's other cameras around. I remember because I'm really wordy, and it was around the home. So they didn't identify where they were.
Right, this is true.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's so much that could be, it's like, can you tell me why the guy on the front porch was just kind of stumbling around at the beginning and putting his hand in front of the camera, and then he went and got flowers? Why did you go get flowers? What did that do to anything? Putting flowers in front of the camera when you could just cover it with your hand.
Well, think about this. That was probably the smartest thing he could have done. I mean, think about it. Because if that camera, everybody's like, well, he was wearing a mask. What difference does it make? Right? And we're all looking about saying, hey, what difference does it make? He was wearing a mask. Well, look at the difference it did make. He had no idea that this camera was recording. At least that's my assessment, because why would he do it if he knew that this camera wasn't recording or nobody would find him? And they were very smart to do that, because now they found this residual data, but none of it shows Miss Guthrie leaving that house. That camera was disabled before she walked out. If that camera was still there because he was masked up and had no reason to worry about the camera and went right in the house, it would have captured her being taken out and how she would have been taken out. So it was actually a very smart, he was pretty smart for doing that.
Yeah, I really have no... I'm so far gone with this case. It just doesn't.
Actually, you know what? You know what, Chris? Hold on a second. Let's look at this thing for a second. They were. Who would have thought? Because maybe that was the motivation. Now, like the light bulb just went off on the top of my head. What if the motivation on that camera wasn't necessarily to hide the perp? It was just so they couldn't see how she left.
Could be.
It was to hide her condition.
Right. Now that camera, was it? I forget what brand was it? Was it a Nest?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I had one on my front door, and you mount the bracket, and then you slip it in, and then you screw the bottom screw goes in to hold it in.
Actually, hold on, stay right there. Keep talking to the audience. I'm gonna grab I just got a new Blink camera, and I accidentally ordered 2. I realized they didn't send me an extra one just because they accidentally made a mistake that I truly, in fact, ordered 2 when I only needed 1. I'll be right back.
Yeah. My thing was, he didn't rip it off, obviously, when he was standing there. We didn't see him rip it off. I mean, you would have, if he was ripping it off while he was being recorded, we would have seen the camera move something, because it doesn't stop, because if it's not the wired camera, it's just Bluetooth Wi-Fi, so it wouldn't stop recording because there's nothing to break.
Mm-hmm.
It's all internal. So, and there's a screw on the bottom.
Yeah.
So he would have had a little bit of oomph to rip that off. I mean, because you wouldn't be able, you can't get behind it unless you have a pry bar, screwdriver, something.
Yeah, because they have some type of clipping. I don't know if you can see. You see that? They have a clipping on the bottom that you need a key to hook it to the bracket. So here's a kit. I don't know why I opened it, but I'm stuck with it anyways. I wasn't planning on putting it back. You know, it's great. These are great cameras. I mean, they have awesome cameras, even though they're ding-dong cameras. They have awesome cameras. But this one right here, it just sits on the bracket, but it sits flush. So you have to have this key to push up to disable it from the bracket. And it looks like he was taking something to go over it and try to oomph it off. Like the wood, like strip the wood. Like I think he was trying to get the whole bracket and everything off, but it ended up popping off by itself without the bracket. That's what I think happened.
Yeah. I mean, that's definitely what would have happened. I mean, you definitely need something to give it a little bit of a pry, because you're not going to do it with just your fingers.
No, a flathead screwdriver is the only thing that I can say that resemble, which is pretty scary. I probably shouldn't say this online, but in all fairness, the flathead screwdriver is the only thing that I've been able to use to pop mine off when I didn't have the key.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So he had to have something to pry or to get rid of that camera. So
it makes you wonder, what did he find? What did he ultimately use? Because they didn't show us that. They only showed us his attempt to take it off, and it wasn't a successful attempt by the time we were done. Right. So it makes you wonder, what did he ultimately do to get that camera off that that bracket?
Again, is there more video of that? Right? I mean, did that keep running? Because they're only giving us what we want to see. Oh, hey, there's the guy. After the flowers went away, what else is there? There had to be more, so there's something else. Even if he pried that off, it doesn't stop recording until he's...
I know, until the battery... Ooh! I wonder what they had. Oh my gosh. So, it kind of brings you to... Is that how... Oh my gosh, what if he had that with her and they heard Nancy? Maybe that's how they found out she was wearing her pajamas and had no shoes and was begging for her life. Maybe they did show Savannah. Maybe Savannah said, "Look, I want to see it."
Yeah, like that's the thing I was thinking about. Obviously, if you're there and you've ripped that camera off, that camera's not going in the trash around the house. The camera's not going in the dirt around the house, obviously. So that camera's with him.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
You wouldn't be stupid enough to rip it off and then throw it on the ground, because it's still recording.
Yeah. So not only that, but but you know what? No matter what, even if you're moving with that, because even when I can't see through my camera, you can hear. So they could have been, if they got this video, this footage of this mass meeting. Oh my gosh, this is opening a whole new level of what in the world law enforcement could possibly have. And it's hard to believe that they have nothing. They probably heard the assailant's voice.
Yeah. They have a lot. The problem is why are we not getting anything?
That's what I'm thinking. Can you imagine if they released the assailant's voice? Somebody would recognize that voice.
So what does that tell you? That tells me that they don't want anybody to know. Or they know who it is, but they're just building a case.
Yeah.
But again, still, you got to tell me if it was somebody that they know, would have already been over. You know what I mean? That would have been the end. Like if they heard, Bob's voice, I'm just using the name. Right. Bob's, oh, right, that's him. Go get him. Then it would be over. But it tells me that they don't want anybody to know, or they didn't have anything, but the camera wouldn't stop. And it goes for the other type of cameras. What were the other type of cameras? Were they wired? Were they wireless? And they're still there.
Yeah.
Now they're gone because the police and FBI, whatever, took them.
Right. Let's welcome in Dustin. Dustin just walked in. I'll let you still finish your statement, Chris. I just wanted to not to ignore Dustin.
Go ahead. They can talk.
Oh yeah, hey Dustin.
How you doing? How are you doing, everybody? I just want to say that everything that you're saying, Chris, is really resonating with me. I didn't realize that part, but thank you for being here and thank you for saying that, because it's starting to resonate with me. It's starting to make more sense to me now. So thank you for saying that, Chris. Appreciate it.
Yeah, it just it doesn't make sense anywhere around. Again,
No, it doesn't.
The I guess the most important thing, Betty, maybe I lied to you. The most important thing to me is why the family's doing nothing.
Right.
Zero.
I know it's been hard for me because I feel, there's a piece of me that feels bad for the family, but I've got to check my BS at the door and say, look, we have to treat every family the same. That's one of the things that we think is valuable on here, is treating everybody the same. And when we have like the Sebastian's parents acting the same way as the Guthrie family, yet we're condemning the Sebastian's family while supporting the Guthrie family, it seems you know me, I like to have at least a even playing field and have standards across the board. It's very important to have those standards, and we're not applying the same standard to this family as we apply to every other family. We're just not.
No, I guess that's why I don't. I mean, I feel bad for the family, but sorry, you're not clear in my eyes. Nanos may have cleared you, but I haven't cleared you. Not that that means anything to anybody, but they're guilty as everybody else. Hey, look I'm guilty. Betty, you're guilty. Who's to say it wasn't me? You know what I'm saying? We're all guilty until they give us something that says the Guthrie family has nothing to do with this. We haven't heard.
But the problem is, they have said that, but the problem is all the other retired FBI and police law enforcement out here that are talking heads, they're saying, hey, it's premature. I can't believe he did that. We don't have anybody. We're not arresting anybody. How do you know? How do you know?
No. You can't even get me started. Like it just doesn't make any sense. If you could tell me, hey, this is the guy right here, and nobody knows him, give me a face and says, hey, it's this guy right here. We have no fingerprints on him. We have no idea who he is. Does anybody recognize him?
Right.
No. Okay. I would be like, all right, cool. They're doing something. I would look at it completely different. There's nothing. There's a mask, a body.
Well, in my opinion, the sheriff is not clear. I don't like the sheriff, and I said this a lot yesterday. I said this yesterday, and I'll share it again. I don't like the sheriff. I think the sheriff is holding this case back, in my opinion. I think if we had a different sheriff, I think if we had a different police department, I think we would have be closer in this situation here. Be closer in this investigation, because I think he's holding it back, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I just feel like so if I could give it a percentage, I'm 90% this was a setup, and then the rest there's a possibility that this actually happened. But why did it happen? I don't think it had to do anything with Clinton and this guy working for Clinton, and I don't think it had anything to do with files that. When's the last time you heard anything about these files?
I agree. Now, if we had something like the scientist, on the other hand, that I got to be honest with you, that stuff's freaking me out. We're up to the 10th person missing, and maybe the 11th by now. I mean, that stuff is freaking me out. But we're not this is something different than that. That's But if we saw something like that here, then maybe. But we're not.
No, I mean. There's going to be nobody left with those files after another couple of months. I mean, all these people are just like, oh, he accidentally died. This one accidentally fell off a roof. This one accidentally took. Come on. I mean, I'm not.
This one fell on a knife right through the heart. We don't know how it happened, but just fell right there. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, and then this one, there's this poor 84-year-old lady just missing.
Yeah,
Like,
I know.
come on. And then, I'm sorry, but look at, on the first night, how in the hell can you, how can you tell me that there's an 84-year-old woman missing on the first night? Don't forget I said that. And there just so happened to be an 84-year-old lady that was life flighted from what's the little city?
I know. We forgot about that. Yes.
How? Come on now,
That
please.
that was really weird. Let's bring in Jeremiah. Jeremiah, hopefully you've got your sound working for you. I know you were struggling. I saw that you were seemed like you were getting all that stuff situated as you were coming in here. Can you speak? You might have to go back out and come back in, but are you doing all right? Did you get in? Jeremiah?
I think it might be froze.
Yeah, I think he might be froze too. He just dropped. Just come back in. Go out and come back in. We'll bring you back up. All right. Sorry about that, Chris. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I just want to. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
This is your channel. You do what you need.
No, I do my. That's why I'm bringing it to you guys. I want to hear from you guys. I don't want it to be me talking. That's why I'm having a panel. I want to hear from you guys because, to be honest with you, I'm stuck here. You know,
everybody's stuck.
Yeah, it's like, you know, I'm hitting a wall here because every time I try to think that it's one thing, it seems like it doesn't fit.
Like what you said last night. This case is at a standstill, in my opinion.
That's my worry.
Yeah.
Like, I keep up to date on all the other stories too, but this has been the focus. Everything, even my wife hates me right now, I think, because this is all. Wake up in the morning, I do work, I look at all this information, trying to find out, and then I'm yelling, and I get, and myself, Betty, I'm sure you. When I get going, boy, I get loud. So
well, I'm here by myself, so you know. Also, like when you want to scream something, like, you know, you get frustrated and you want to yell, so you just yell. I mean, the only thing that gets scared is the dog occasionally might leave from her bed in here and go to the bed out in the living room. You know, that's about it. Like, nobody's like, what the hell's going on? Why do you have to be using that foul language in the office? No,
this is great. And boy, I have foul language. They broke the book around me. But I don't want it to get lost. And you know what I'm saying? It is, as much as everybody wants to not say it, but it is going a little cold.
Right.
And the only reason that it's staying lukewarm right now is because of Betty and
all the other creators. Everybody that's refusing to allow this case to die. That's who's keeping this case alive. Everybody that's refusing to allow this case to die.
Right, but the government, well, I'm not going to say not the government, but...
It is the government. It's one facet of the government or another. Yes, it's the government.
FBI is still involved. That's my other thing. When the FBI rolled in is when Nanos finally reached out and said, hey, we're going to need a little bit of help here. I don't think he had a choice. I think he had to do that.
He didn't have the resources to get the job done, and the whole world was looking at him. He had no choice. You're right.
When they came in, they were here, they were back and forth, and they were around. They kept going back to the same people's houses and the same questions. Blah, 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 blah. Hey, look, we're doing something. Great. Then it mellowed out because they decided it was time to, instead of have 500 FBI agents and 300 sheriffs, they said, here, give me 5 from your office, from the sheriff's office, which was a sergeant and 4 detectives.
And they had very limited homicide, right?
Exactly. But they
didn't have any homicide at the beginning.
No, the first guy on the scene had never even been to a scene yet.
Oh my God. I mean, goodness. I should say, oh my goodness.
So, and I get it. Hey, look it. That's how it happens, though. My friend's a detective for the city that I live in. His first year, and we have, you know, a really, really bad thing. I don't know, every 17 years. His first case that he landed, which was a high profile case around here, was like 3 years into his job. And That's what I find hard to believe. We're talking about Arizona here. There's
Mhm.
missing people all over Arizona.
I know. I looked.
This is just
I
one
was
lady.
shocked. I was shocked. There's a lot of people missing,
Yeah.
and they're either homicides due like drug activity, or you can tell like some people went out hiking and never came back. They never found them.
No, because they don't look for them. I don't think they look for them because, the only reason that not us, because I look at all the missing cases that, just because the lady isn't known doesn't mean she's not a person. She's a person. She's still missing.
Mhm.
But the only reason this is so huge is because of who it is.
Right.
Yeah.
If it wasn't
Good.
for Savannah, if she wasn't a news person, would we be all over this case like this? Nope. I would look at it because I look at them all, just, oh man, that sucks. But that's the only reason, because it's high profile. It's
Right.
sad to say that, right? But there is many more cases out there right now that I think should probably be taking over instead of Nancy Guthrie, because there's nothing here. We can't do anything. They're not going to give us any the things that get sent in. Hey, we want this report and that report. They're not going to give them to us. They're
Mhm.
going to beat around the bush.
Right.
And you know that, Betty. They're not going to release.
They don't.
They're going to.
They don't give us squat. Squat.
This is why I'm so stuck on.
Oh, I think
there's-
Jeremiah's working now. I can hear something in the background.
Yes.
Jeremiah?
I have really bad luck with technology, so I'm sorry. I
Oh,
apologize.
that's okay. It's okay. We're glad you finally made it. That's why I
Thank
wanted
you
to
for
come.
adding me, Betty.
Yeah, no problem. What do you think?
I lied. First of all, I have so much. I first of all want to just say something like elephant in the room. I mean, a few people were talking about it. Okay, so first of all, this is just my opinion. I kind of feel, because my mother passed away when I was 11, so I don't have a mother, but if I had a mother,
this hits you a little closer to home.
yes, if my mother passed away, if my mother was in a circumstance like this, I first of all want to say I personally, just my opinion, don't agree with Savannah going back to NBC News. That's just my opinion.
Mhm.
Again, if this is still an ongoing unsolved case,
I agree.
I would have rather her. I mean, I understand that that's her job, that's her family, but especially when she did that interview with that Hoda, she was like, "It's my fault." Like, it was the stalker.
Do you feel she was pressured by NBC to go back? Maybe.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
Perhaps, but so Savannah's back at the Today Show, which again, to me personally, I feel that wasn't the right decision to make, but that was the decision that was made.
Right.
Anyway, so yesterday, so Savannah was supposed to interview Anne Hathaway, very famous actress, of course. Everybody knows Anne Hathaway, of course.
Of course.
She's supposed to interview her. And I remember, it was before they went to commercial break, Savannah was like, "I'm going to interview Anne Hathaway. Stay tuned. You're watching NBC Today Show. Good morning." And then they did a little commercial, all the bumpers and things. And when they came back, Savannah was gone. They had another replacement. I don't look at the Today Show, so I don't know the reporter's lady's name. Somebody else who looks at the Today Show would know who she was. But yeah, when they came back from commercial break, Savannah was gone. And everybody on social media went wild with that. They're thinking, oh, there was an update. Something happened. Because what happened? Savannah was supposed to interview Anne Hathaway. What happened? And they had this whole entire new lady interviewing her. And so now people are thinking, why did Savannah just up and leave like that? She was supposed to do this interview with Anne Hathaway. And so it could be nothing. But I just find it very sus. I do, what's going on here? I mean,
Oh, somebody said she just signed a new contract potentially as well.
Yeah, I think that's what I heard too. She signed a new contract.
But yeah, I don't know if you heard about that drama on the Today Show, to where she just left the studio yesterday morning.
No,
did
this
not
is the
read it.
first
Like,
I'm hearing. This is the first I'm hearing. So we got drama at the studio. Let me ask you this, Jeremiah. We just went through the timeline, not too far away. What do you think is the most important fact about this case as we know it today?
The most important fact
To you, in your
regards
opinion.
in regards to solving it?
No, just about the case in general. Like, what do you think's an important fact? The video, the assailant, the flower pots. I guess, yeah, maybe to solve it. What do you think's the important fact that we know today that could help solve the case?
Oh, that is a great question, and I would have to say because this case is very, very convoluted, very, very puzzled. We're hearing conflicting reports. You have Sheriff Nincompoop. He's not doing like he's oh lord that man right oh lord. And
Nobody likes Chris Nanas. I haven't found one person yet.
nobody does.
Nobody likes him. How did he become sheriff for that community multiple times? Nobody likes him.
Well,
I would have to say that to me personally, just my opinion. I'm 99% sure this is someone who knew Nancy, possibly was a stalker of Savannah, couldn't get to Savannah, so you know what? I'm just going to take her mother because that's the plan originally was to kidnap Nancy, to take her hostage, and and maybe do like video clips of Nancy going, Savannah, please, just do whatever these people say. Please, I'll be home soon, honey. Just please, whatever. If they want money, just give them the money. They're not hurting me, Savannah. Just please, just listen to what they. But that was the original plan for them to maybe like show that proof that she like do little video. That's my own crazy theory, but yeah. But
why do you think it took them until April? Just out of curiosity, when you're thinking it's the ransom theory, what like it took them like 24, 48 hours to even produce the first ransom note. Why do you think that happened so long, so long after they took her?
Great question, because there's some people that even question the ransom notes as to whether or not they're valid or they're truthful.
I know Savannah knows that the ransom notes are valid, or at least thinks two of them are, but outside of her, and I feel like she's clouded. She's too close to this. That she's in shock because this is her mother. Her brain's not functioning correctly because this is a lot of stress for any human being, whether you're famous or not. This is a lot of stress on somebody's cranium, and I just don't think she's personally thinking clearly. And I think that if you're not thinking clearly, then there is some things that you could be in denial about. Like, you don't want to think that your favorite cousin from your childhood is had her boyfriend come in here and do this to Aunt Nancy. Like I feel like she's in denial of something because she's not really giving us a whole lot, and like everybody says, where's the family in all of this?
Sitting at home. Hey, can I read this to you real
Sure.
quick? It's about her from yesterday.
Sure, Chris, go ahead.
There's a release from NBC. It just says Savannah Guthrie, the veteran host of Today, abruptly left the broadcast midway on April 15th, prompting speculations that it was tied to her missing mother. Guthrie recently returned, extended absence, blah, 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 blah. Savannah Guthrie disappeared in the middle of an episode of Today on Wednesday, April 15th. Guthrie was talking to Anne Hathaway, asking her questions when there was a commercial break. But when the show resumed after the break, Guthrie was gone. And Hoda Katoa, whatever her name is, was interviewing in her place. The show did not address the sudden switch on air, leading to speculations that it could be due to development in the case of missing mother. As per NBC insiders, they have a code phrase to alert Guthrie discreetly if there is any major development in the case. Before Guthrie disappeared from the show, some fans noticed that her voice cracked when mentioning Hathaway's film title, Mother Mary. Sources have revealed that NBC used the phrase needed offset to alert Guthrie of a potential development which saw her leave. And then it just goes into 84-year-old Guthrie was last seen, blah, 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 blah.
Gotcha. So
at the bottom of that report, as reports, NBC, they used that phrase, needed offset, to alert her yesterday, is what it says at the end.
Needed offset.
So let me read that one more time. Mother Mary, sources have revealed that NBC used the phrase needed offset to alert Guthrie of a potential development which saw her leave. So that right there.
Well, you know what? There was another person. There's been a couple people that have been posting today that have been kind of posting cryptic posts on X, like, because we've been wondering, we've been polling whether Nancy's going to be found, whether this case is going to move, whether whatever. And I was on here and I noticed that there was several people posting little cryptic message, such as like Nancy will be found, and then there's other ones talking about Nancy is going to be found. They're getting close to breaking the case. There's just several little small people out there on different platforms that I'm seeing this, but this has all been coming in the last 24 or 48 hours, and then I'm hearing that Savannah was needed offset, and it just it just starting to make me feel like maybe there's something brouhahaing that we don't know about, which would be a good thing. I mean, we hope.
Yeah, we definitely would, and thank God that you were able to get your mic and sound working, because I had no idea she left the show. I don't watch the show. I've never seen it.
I heard that from another reporter online. I don't look at NBC News show, your morning show either. Today's show either.
And I don't even know I don't even know what time she's on.
Yeah, I wouldn't have known. This is the first time I check everything before I go live, just to see if there's any updates, and if there's not, then I just go with a general discussion, for our morning show. But if there's something breaking, obviously we talk about that breaking. I didn't see anything. I'm like, she left out of the stage yesterday, huh? I'm glad.
It wasn't breaking news though, which is, and something like that you would have thought hit somebody's news, like, hey, she done bounced off the stage real quick yesterday. But
maybe they didn't want to scare people. I don't know. They just a lot of details about this case have been hush hush, so I don't know. Yeah,
I don't think so. I've noticed that there's been some things that I've noticed over the years doing this, where Google literally or somebody behind the scenes, some puppet master, sanitizes some stories, and because I'll see something pop up 5 days later, and it's like, why didn't I see this before, and why is it popping up as if it's just now been released, and I'm reading it and it's 5 days old, and it's like you'll find things like that, and I bet you in another, because everybody's now going to be searching for this, is going to start coming into feeds.
Oh yeah, I mean, and here's one big thing I get out of that. It had to be something big, because I'm sorry, you don't walk away from Anne Hathaway. You know what I'm saying? It's not like she's interviewing me, right? You don't walk off of Anne Hathaway in her movie or book, whatever it is.
Right.
So it had to be something, and for them to use that secret code, who knows? Again, maybe they know something. Maybe something is coming, but it doesn't feel like it to me.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
It's going to fall away, and next week we'll be talking about this, but something else. I mean,
excuse me.
I could keep you on here all day. I have issues. I have some severe issues out here with other cases too, and it's just, they're just taking the back seat to this, and I kind of feel bad for them.
Okay, let me ask you this. We'll go around the room. We'll go to Chris, just give just a second. We're going to get to you in just a second. But what is the most confusing fact of this case? The one fact that we know that just confuses everybody. I'm going to go with Jeremiah. We're going to go backwards. We're going to end with you, Chris. Jeremiah, what's the most confusing fact that you know it right now?
In my opinion, the Ring doorbell footage, how we would have thought as soon as that went viral, and this man's definitely getting caught. Like before the day is out, that because you would think, like, based how it was presented, like, how his body was moving, how he was messing with the plants outside, just how he would just seem nervous, like didn't know what he was doing. You would have thought, just based on that Ring doorbell footage, that this man would have been immediately identified, but it seems, if anything, that Ring doorbell footage has made this case more difficult, because there's so many people think it might be a female now. Like it's just all types of different, theories. So yeah.
Okay, Dustin, is it Dustin? Let me see. Who's it? Let me see. Sorry, yeah, Dustin. Dustin, what do you think is so far out of this whole case? What do you feel is the most confusing fact so far?
I agree with Jeremiah on this one. I think it's to ring the video doorbell.
You do.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, Chris, the same question. What do you think is the most confusing fact of this case as we know it today?
Well, the most confusing fact. Yeah, I would go with the doorbell camera. The crickets. The most confusing thing to me right now is crickets. We hear nothing. Zero.
Good. So lack of info.
Lack of anything. I mean, there's nothing. There has been nothing. What did Nanos tell us in his meetings? Zero. Even from the beginning, the first few times.
From the beginning, everything he told us, he walked back.
Other than that, we could be the next victim. That's exactly what that man said.
I think
that might be the next victim. That's exactly
in all fairness, I think that's the only thing he stated that he still stands on to this day.
I mean, if I walk into your neighborhood, Betty, and I'm like, "Hi, Betty, hey, there's a guy down the street that has been missing for 6 years, and there's a guy still walking around. That you could be the next person."
Yeah.
I mean, why would you say that? What?
Kim says this. She says, "Does this family exist in a vacuum? ? It is surprising we have not heard from," and this is true. She's absolutely right. Friends, cousins, nephews, aunts, uncles, exes, etc. Not a peep from anyone.
How about the churchgoers? How about her friends that she played? What did she play with? Whatever the game they played.
How did all of these go unscathed? Usually people are wanting to tell their story because they want to keep this case alive. You know what? This really does feel kind of like Sumner County 2.0 in a sense. That's not good.
You got me. Everybody. Well, let's add them all in. Neighbors.
Yeah.
Family, friends, church, anybody, employees. I don't care. Name it. Whoever. Taxi, Uber. Come on now. Uber driver. Was there an Uber driver? Did anybody show us that she actually took an Uber hit their house? No.
Well, there's no. We haven't physically or visibly seen it, but the law enforcement did come out and did tell news that they have the video of her in that car. So I do trust she was in the Uber car, and I do trust because that came from mainstream media from a conversation that they had with Chris Nanos.
Right. You're smarter than me. You've been doing this for a long time. I haven't. Why? Tell me, in your best opinion, why can't we see the video of her in the car?
I agree. Why can't we hear the 911 call from the family calling them the mother in?
Betty. You look at the interview room, right?
We've watched them here and there. I haven't watched them in a while. I haven't sat down for the 4 hours because I just don't have the time.
Is that who had the video?
I don't know. Hold on. Jeremiah, what were you saying? I don't know if that's the one, Chris, but Jeremiah has it. What about the interview room?
Yes. I do like the interview room. I do like their coverage of the Nancy case. But there's one thing. Again, I'm not an investigator. I'm not a detective. I just like a true crime fan, like everybody is in here. Yeah, but the one thing that agitates me about the interview room is that they keep complaining as to why they took Tomas and Annie's car. Like it's such a big confusing thing. And my thing, I'm just common sense. Well, what if the person that took Nancy, they put a bomb under their muffler or something, or under their axle? Maybe they're trying to. That's why the car was under evidence.
I think what they're missing is the fact that Chris Nanos is running this investigation, and every decision he's made has been a total failure, and we've all just kind of said, "What? We don't know why."
So one more thing, right off of what he just said. They took the car. something was removed from the car.
Yes.
I mean, I can't tell you for 100% sure that something was taken from the car, but something was taken from the car. And tell me, they took the car 70. How many days are we at? 75. They took the car 75 days ago. Why don't they have it back? Why
They do.
still
We
have
heard that they had it back. What, a month ago?
Nope, they don't have it back. It's still there.
It's still there. I heard.
They never
I
got it
thought one of the people had said that they've released it back to the. They were waiting for a part to come back. That they were releasing it back to the family.
Nope, that was another car. That wasn't his car.
Let me see. Annie's car still impounded. We'll have to look at that, but I think that there might be. But well, no, I'm not going to worry about that. But I'm putting it on the list. Annie's car still.
I think it was still there too. Like,
Really? I thought it was released, so I'll have to look into that aspect. Thank you.
It's just there's so many things that point to the family being involved, and I'm not accusing anybody. Obviously, it's just my opinion, like everybody else here. A lot points to some shenanigans. That's what we'll say. Shenanigans. I like that word, shenanigans. But
But they said the family passed polygraph tests. Everybody, the in-laws, spouses.
Yeah, well, I like polygraph tests, but I don't like. I mean, they're not admissible in a court. There's a reason why they're not admissible in a court, and they can say that they're as accurate as the day is long, but they're still not admissible in a court, so they haven't proved to a court that they are.
True.
No, you can't do anything with it. So I can go and fail 1,400 of them, and there's nothing you can do with it.
Right.
It means nothing.
Yeah.
So I don't even know why they allow them.
I do. I understand it's an investigative tool, and it still helps guide them. I mean, I understand, even though it's not admissible in a court of law, I understand it's a great, investigative tool, and that's why they still use it.
But I mean, what happens, Betty? Like, if I'm on my polygraph test and they're like, "Did you kill this person?" No, I didn't, and I fail. What does that do for them, though? I mean, I know it's like...
It just makes them look at you harder. It just makes them know that they're on the right track, to keep digging in a little deeper, start thinking outside the box. It doesn't really, for the purposes of the actual investigation or the court hearing, it does nothing.
Right. And, again, how do we know they did the tests?
Right.
I mean... They said, we had people at the sheriff's office the day of the tests from morning till night, and there was no sighting of anybody in or out. Doesn't mean they did them there, but they were supposed to be there. But I don't know.
So we've got another statement here. It says the most confusing is the timeline. That's the beginning of everything, and it doesn't add up.
No, I mean, we can't even confirm.
We can't confirm nothing. Even the stuff we think we can confirm. Nanos has already walked back. We got nothing.
Right. Well, I mean, even like the video with the guy on the porch without the backpack on. Oh, that's what day was that supposed to be? 3rd or the 11th? One of those.
January 11th.
Are we sure?
That's what we've heard.
How do I know?
Chris Nano said the 11th. He said the 11th, walked back the 11th, and then said that Google said yada yada yada. It was this big back and forth, but I'm pretty confident that one without the backpack's on the 11th.
And if Nancy had a subscription, we would have got more footage. But that's neither here nor there. But
I agree,
because they managed to luckily get that from the cloud.
Let me fill you in real quick. I have my door camera. And I did not have a subscription. Jesus, I need a subscription for a year. And we weren't broken into, but they stole some packages off our front porch. Amazon stuff. And I'm like, shit, I don't have the subscription, blah, 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 blah. Well, you know what? I called, and they had the video of who took my stuff. They record everything.
Yeah,
so it's because you don't have a subscription.
Just because you don't have it, yeah. Sorry, guys, I'm not.
You can't get it without asking and then saying, "Hey, look it." They asked for what reason, and I said, hey, we were robbed on the front porch, and they were like, oh, let me take a look. Oh yeah, look at this. They record everything. So even though you don't have a subscription, if something happens, they can go get it.
Well, that's clearly the fact here, because I mean, this surprised a lot of us.
Yeah, like if you don't have the subscription, then how do they have any video whatsoever?
Right.
Right? They're recording something.
Yeah.
Just like your phone, your iPhone. If you say the wrong thing in your house or on your phone talking to somebody, if it's one of the triggers, which may have to do with a president or a high profile, they're listening. They get that. It automatically records. I don't know if you guys know that. If you mention the wrong thing on your phone, it sets a trigger for the government. That's how they find people.
That's interesting, because sometimes I'm sitting here talking and on my because I got a MacBook Pro, and I'll just look up, and the Siri's up there. You can see the little Siri thing up there, and it's like cancel. I can find that for you. Find what? I didn't ask for anything.
Exactly. If you didn't know or you didn't believe that they're listening, they're listening.
I believe.
And you know what? They can listen to me. They can listen to me all day long. I have nothing to hide, right? I don't care if you're recording what I'm saying. They're recording what we're saying right now. Who cares? I got nothing to hide.
Right.
You're not doing anything to me, So, I don't know, like Nancy Guthrie's phone. Where is her phone?
Now let's go ahead.
Did they shut it off?
I think like I do. I have a MacBook Pro. I just recently got the newer computer here just recently, because my other computer broke down. So I got the MacBook Pro. I think they're listening to everything. I have to agree with Chris on this one.
I'm not a fan of Mac. After having this product, because I was always Windows based, and then of course I was working with Olivia, and she loves Apple products. She absolutely loves. I don't know if she'll ever be able to change from Apple. She loves it so much, and I converted over. But when you're old school, when you're Windows and Androids, it's hard to convert. I've been doing this now for 4 years with this Apple stuff, and I hate it. I've hated it every minute. It's just that so much money's invested into it. I have to, let it pay for itself before I can switch it out,
It can be, Apple can be easier to use in some ways.
Right.
But like I have an iPhone, and I love iPhones, but my computer is Windows. I have a Dell laptop, and that's the only way I will never have anything else.
My favorite was back in the day was a Toshiba. I loved Toshiba products, and then I converted to Dell. But Toshiba, you don't hear a lot about Toshiba this day and age, but they had a good laptop. They really did.
Yeah. Now, one thing I will say is Brian Enton, when he was interviewing a couple of people, I don't know, you'll be familiar with this, Betty. He talked to the husband and wife that worked on the Idaho. Remember, the FBI hired them to dig into the cell phone stuff? They're famous for this. This is what they do, cell phone stuff.
Right.
Nobody called them in on this, obviously, but they did some investigation on their own, and you've heard on other YouTubers that there are dead zones in the front of that house.
Yes.
There's one to the, if you watched the one person that was there the most, it was to the right or to the left of where they were always set up. And what they said is you hit that dead zone, no matter what you do, or the phone company, the police, the FBI, and nothing. If you're in that dead zone, you get no information. Your phone does not send or receive anything. So if you're driving down the street talking to me, hey, and you hit that dead zone, you're gone. They can't recover anything.
Yeah, that's why it's so important to have, infrastructure. We need to have good infrastructure across this country, and the internet is the best infrastructure, the most modern infrastructure we need to have throughout the country.
Yeah, I mean, there's just if you sit back and you really take a minute and think about Nancy in the house, in her bed,
Mm-hmm.
when everybody said she was sleeping, 84, probably, but do we know she was sleeping? Was she up walking around? Was she sitting in the living? I don't know, whatever, but there's nothing to say. There's no cell phones, there's no video, there's one video we see, and that's it. Nothing else. Zero. She disappeared.
Yeah.
Did the Martians take her? Like,
Yeah.
you can't tell 750 billion people, sorry, we have nothing.
All right.
Doesn't add up.
Yep, I agree. Last question. What theories are there? So we got 3 people on panel right now. What is your theories? Would you like to go first, Chris?
Yeah, I'm saying it's an inside job. It's either, I don't think it has anything to do with Savannah. I just don't think so. Like I said earlier, nothing with the files and nothing with anything, with Clintons and all that stuff. Sorry, it's not. I just think it's more family related, and it may have to do with, a couple of the family there, or somebody else that's there, a son or something. I don't want to keep anybody. And it's just, I'm pretty sure I said this to you yesterday. It's a cover up, and I think everybody knows about it. Sheriff, the family, the neighbors, everybody. I think they all know about it, and it's just the lie got too big. Like I said to you, it was just too much coverage. They didn't expect what happened to happen. I mean, this became huge, right? And then they had to keep going. And now they're backed up to the wall, like, what are we going to do? So they keep going with the lie, and now it's kind of just like they would want it. It quieted down, and people left. They're kicking the news people out and the YouTubers out, and they just want it to go cold and just be done.
Yeah.
And then somewhere down the road, it will come out that, Nancy was found in a shallow grave somewhere or something like that, and still no clues. Have a good day, bye. That's my theory. I'm gonna go with that, and if I'm wrong, it's a lie. Great.
I think we have a good chance of the inside job, because the statistics show family or acquaintance is the most probable in the case like this. What about you, Justin? Yeah, I agree. What about you, Dustin? Give Dustin a moment to turn on the speaker. Dustin, are you there? Jeremiah, you want to go?
Yeah. I agree with Chris. I agree with his theory. But I'll just add on to that. As much as I wanted to rule the family out, like again the polygraph test, but again that's it's not definite. But they did pass polygraph tests, and Sheriff Nincompoop said family's not involved. Family has been cleared. Move on to other people. Right? He did say that. So one of the only things he said was family is clear. But yeah. But just to go with Chris's theory, which I agree with, it's probable, it's plausible. But I just want to add that I don't know. Betty, just Luke Daly. I think he's the fourth guy. Just a gut feeling when he did that interview with his mom. Him and his mom were kind of suspect. He what Luke was wearing in that interview was kind of like interesting. He had like this big windbreaker on, and just like he's trying to cover tattoos up or something, and just his body language seemed off.
Never mind the fact that he changed his appearance. He shaved off all his facial hair.
Clean cut, And so to just piggyback on Chris, maybe Luke Daly was the guy they hired, like someone who knew Nancy, and he was their not the hitman, I guess that's lack of a better word, just to say what Luke Daly, because I do feel his Vicky favors the guy on the porch, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Now Luke Daly might be innocent, okay, this is just my theory, but that interview he did was just very suspect.
Mm-hmm.
And so my personal theory is that I think it was Luke Daly on that porch, but family is involved. They probably know Luke. Because doesn't he live in their same block, right? He lives in there,
and they've
like,
lived there for years
brother
and
and his mom,
years
yeah.
and years, just like
Yeah.
the Guthrie family. Yes.
So I think it's maybe the family hired him, and they're working in cahoots.
And think
But,
about
yeah.
their stories are fairly similar too, because Luke's dad died and left his mom in that house by herself. So I mean, even if you really look at it, their stories are fairly similar too. You know, within, you know, I don't think his father died when he was at such a tender age like it was in Savannah, but yeah, they have a similar story too. But it was the hand for me for Luke. Luke has not been taken off my list just yet, and he was searched with a federal warrant, not something Chris Nanos did.
Right. Yeah, that's huge because it was federal, not sheriff. So, you know, we touched on that yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
How did they get those guys, the people that were detained? How did they come up with them? Take out the cell phone. How did they come up with them?
Yeah, that's a great question. And then is Dustin back? Dustin, are you back? I think Dustin something might have happened. I'm not sure. Guess Dustin is not back. All right, guys. Well, do you guys have either Jeremiah or Chris, do you guys have any final statements? We're going to be wrapping up the show.
Oh, I think I'm pretty good now.
I have one little. Didn't mean to cut Chris off, but I just have. One.
Good, go.
I was looking at. I don't know if you know him, Betty. Tucson. He was
857 Tucson. He's been to the chat a few times. He seems like a nice person.
Yeah, he's a cool guy, but he's saying that he's thinking by Thanksgiving the case will be solved, and then everybody was like all impatient. They don't want to wait that long, but he's saying that probably by Thanksgiving we'll see resolution with the Nancy case. You know, I'm hoping that the woman is alive. I'm probably delusional for thinking that, but I'm just a more positive person. Like, you know, this could have been my grandmother, 85 why would you do this to an 85-year-old woman? Like, come on. So I just, you know.
It was definitely to inflict the most amount of pain for some purpose. They had some purpose to inflict this pain because there's no good excuse for. I don't know anybody. I mean, you know, people do stupid stuff, but you know, it's hard when it messes with the elderly or children. You know, the vulnerable of our population.
If it was a 30 or 40-year-old person, we wouldn't even be having this discussion.
Probably not. I mean, it's sad, but in all fairness, it's a dime a dozen. You know, we have just like the runaway teenagers. That's why I don't really cover a lot of runaway teenagers, is because there's so many runaway teenagers. We would be taking all of our time trying to find runaway teenagers versus finding the people that are injured. You know, most likely deceased, you know. So
I wouldn't want to do the teenager runaways either.
Yeah, but it's sad because they're in vulnerable situations, and many of them it changes the direction of their entire life, what they do when they're teenagers, but there's nothing you can do.
Yeah, because they're runaways, so they get in with that wrong group, and you know the group I'm talking about, and then after that, they're done.
They're done.
I mean, they don't have a choice.
They get drugs and alcohol in their system. Then it's you know, another decade to try to clean them up, and that's if we get to them even early enough.
Right, you got to get them early. Can I ask you a question which has nothing to do with Nancy Guthrie?
Sure.
And I forget the names. The cruise ship murder.
Anna Kepner.
Okay, please tell me you do know that the stepbrother has been charged with rape, murder.
Yep.
Why is he able to be home landscaping?
I brought that up this morning. I'm like, you know, this it irritates me. It's got to be unnerving for the people that are fighting, because I know Anna's father wants to see him behind bars. It's whatever his dad has done that has prevented him. But the day is coming. I mean, it's just a matter of time at this point. But even when those charges were charged, he should have been in federal custody. They should have
Right,
had
and the
him turn
only-
himself in.
And the only reason he would be in custody is because he was charged as an adult.
Absolutely. And he should be, he's charged as an adult. He needs to face the consequences of that as an adult. As a matter, it doesn't matter. A lot of teenage boys have to grow up with all their hormones raging and everything else, and they don't abuse women to death. So when you find the one that abuses a woman to death, you don't get to hide. You don't get to, say, oh, I didn't mean to do that. Oh, I forgot I did this. How do you forget something like that, you freaking freak?
You don't forget nothing like this. And before I jump off, this is why the judicial system, it works, but then it doesn't work. And I blame a lot of judges for this.
This is Florida, though. He's in our stomping grounds. There's no excuse for any of it. This is not any other state. This is Florida. We're tough on crime. We don't play this stuff.
So what judge in their right mind would say, yeah, just throw a tracking device on his ankle and, hey, have a good time? Something's wrong there.
Yeah, I know. I understood that when they weren't trying, because the law enforcement wasn't trying to charge him. He was in international waters. They needed to figure out what the feds were going to do. The feds weren't doing anything, so the family court was kind of picking it up, and they weren't doing a whole lot but separating this kid from her father, and he had to stay at his uncle's house. But now at the end of all of this, now he's being officially charged. He should be arrested. When you're officially charged anywhere else in the United States of America, you get handcuffs put on you.
Yeah, you're gone.
You're gone.
I mean, if it was me, I'd be calling you from jail right now.
Right.
You know
and if they want to let him out, that's fine. But he still needs to be arrested, go in there, get fingerprinted, get his mug shot, and he needs to have an arraignment and bail assessed. I mean, this is a homicide charge and a sexual assault charge. This is a sex assault case.
And he stuffed her underneath the bed and covered her with freaking life jackets.
I know. And you got to think of a child like this. Does he need help? Psychologically, yes, he does. But at the end of the day, he knew what he was doing was wrong. And the reason why we know that is because she was stuffed under the bed and hidden. So he knew he was wrong. So it doesn't matter how psycho you are. If you go through the process of hiding the evidence, well, then you knew it was wrong. And that's the only frame of mind you need to be in for a first-degree homicide charge, is that you knew what you were doing was wrong, and he clearly did.
Of course. How old was her? How old was she?
17.
How old?
17. He was 16.
Yeah, he's 16. Yeah, I heard that. Psycho. And if it wasn't, this is the case right here that we should be having a panel about. Like, what is wrong with whoever let this kid out of jail? But yet,
let him out. He never went in. He didn't go to juvenile. He has never been charged. This is his first charge. And it's been all of these months, and they knew he was the one responsible for her death, and they slow walked the crap out of this.
Why? The why?
I know why. I know exactly why. Because what they were trying to do is they were trying to get everything resolved before he ever went into jail. That means they were not trying to take him to court. They were trying to get a plea deal. They were trying to work it out with everybody involved to do this quickly and hush hush, because they didn't want to ruin the rest of his life.
Anna Kepner case?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to look into that now. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Where were they in international waters? Do you know, Betty?
Nah, I have to look into it. I remembered when we covered it, but I kind of got away from it because other cases, because it's just usually me and my team, and we don't have a huge team. So when we start diving into a breaking news case, we jump into it with all feet. Like the Sebastian Rogers case, we covered nothing but Sebastian Rogers for a solid year and a half. We didn't cover any other case.
Where is this poor kid?
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
I agree.
Yeah, no, I would be like, if it was in international waters, I thought if you're in international waters, the federal government charged him, great. But I thought other countries could be involved too, because it's in international waters. Were you around Mexico? Charge him in Mexico.
Yeah. But typically, if it's an American on American crime, we take jurisdiction on it.
Yeah, no, I know. It's just, you would think, if it was Mexico, he'd he'd be suffering a little more, you know?
Yeah, but his father has really come to bat for him. I don't know, I don't have my own biological children. I have stepkids, so I don't have that maternal or that, whatever connection you're supposed to have. But even my father and my mother, I remember stealing a pack of cigarettes, and my dad, took me down there, gave them a pack of cigarettes, made me give them every penny I had in my piggy bank, and told him, if you want to call law enforcement and have her arrested, call them. I mean, that's the way, that's the only parenting I know. I don't know this parenting of helping your kids hide the body crap.
No. If my kid did this, see ya.
Yeah.
Have a good time.
That's
man.
the way my family is.
Down. I would drive him. I would lock him up.
My parents would be the ones that say, keep your mouth shut. We'll do our best to get you an attorney. And, just.
Hey, listen, if you have a stepson, great. I have 2 kids. If you want them, you can have them.
No, I don't want any more. I'll take the grandkids. I don't want the stepkids. No, I'm just joking. I hope
I'm not even going to charge you for them. You can have. I'll bring them to you.
No, thank you. I got a Delilah now. She makes me smile.
And if I knew, I would have dropped them off last week because we were in Florida on vacation. We were in Orlando, so I could have just dropped them right off to you.
Yeah, no, that's okay. That's okay. You keep them. That's okay. But if you need to adopt me, I need an allowance. No, I'm just joking. All right, guys, you have a great day. Thanks for participating in this show.
Thank you for letting me talk, Betty. Thank you.
Jeremiah. God, I can't even say your name, Jeremiah. Good gracious.
Okay.
I'm so sorry. Dustin, it was great. I think he got kind of away or something like that. Chris, thank you. It's always great speaking to you. You're always such a lively character. I love it. I love it. So come back tomorrow. We're going to do this again tomorrow at 10:30. Love to have you guys on the panel. Would love to have more people on panel. Would love to have just a roundtable discussion on this case. I really think it's good for y'all. It's good for me. It gives me a whole different perspective and gets my gears working. So that's what it's about.
Sounds good to me.
All right, guys. Thanks so much. It was great. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, guys. All right. So we had such a great talking point today. We kept it very, casual, but we had 3 major talking questions about today. We went over the discussions. We had some people kind of talk about their opinions about the case, what they think is interesting, but we wanted to break it down on 3 different talking points. What are the most important facts as we know them today? What do you think is going to ultimately be the most important fact that might tip this case into a solvable case? What is the most confusing facts of this case? And what theories are out there? What is your personal highest and best theory based on what we're looking at here? Betty, look into Clay. Send me some information if you haven't already. Send me some information. Hello. Next door, Alex. It's nice to see you, love. I hope you're having a great day. For everybody else, if you've made it this far into the show, if you're on the replay crew, please do Bet's one big solid, and that's hit that thumbs up button. We're trying to get those thumbs up buttons really, really high. But if you made it this far, consider hyping this show. We're working really hard to get as much information out there related to Miss Nancy Guthrie as possible. We are hoping that law enforcement starts releasing a little more information on the assailant that we can help. And we brought up something on today's show that was brought up that was just mind-blowing. And it comes back down to that Nest camera. Just because the camera was removed, we've got a blink. It's not a Nest camera, but we got a blink. Look. Guys, the batteries and everything is hooked to this. So unless hers was hardwired in, which there is the possibility of it being hardwired in, when this disconnected, it may have had backup batteries, or it may have still been recording audio and visual after it was removed from the door. So we know law enforcement hasn't given us everything, and we know that there's multiple videos that they do have because they've got 2 videos up on the FBI.com link for Nancy Guthrie's, and then if you go over to Cash Patel, you'll find a different video clip from the same one. So, Betty, start pausing your show until people start hitting the like button. I know. I would never do that. We hope that people will hit the like button. We'll work through it, right? But I would never pause the show. Occasionally I might tease you guys a little bit. But at the end of the day, hopefully I earned your thumbs up today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the show, enjoyed the talking points. But man, that information about the camera, we might have more than we thought on that camera. I pray to God we do. I hope that they heard the assailant's voice. How awesome would it be if we have a recording of the man's voice? Release it. Please, law enforcement, we can get this case done. If there's anything that can help identify this assailant, I mean, shoot, we're at day 75 for everything that's holy. Let's get this done. But it sounds like multiple people believe that not only is Nancy going to be found, which would be lovely, right? Whatever condition she's in, some people are more hopeful and believe she's alive. Some people are a little more dreadful and just, kind of the realist. I'm part of that. I kind of feel like, but in all fairness, it's not even a realist. I felt like she was deceased before she left the house. So in all fairness, I never believed that she was going to be a survivor of this attack. And while there has been several theories that would, make her leaving this house in a better condition, my top theories aren't that. So we pray. We're always hopeful. We always hope that we're wrong, right? And maybe manifesting that out in the universe might help bring it to reality. But at the end of the day, we know something terrible happened to this grandmother. We know that whatever it was, we haven't figured it out yet, because I really feel if we had figured it out, we'd be like, oh yeah, that's it. Right? It'll be, everything would fit. Once we hear it, once we know it, it'll be like, boom, there it is. Everything fits. We're not there yet. We're so far from that moment. It's not even funny. And the only people suffering are the family members. But, maybe not. It's hard because we're kind of back and forth because we don't even know what to say about the family. Our heart on one hand bleeds for the family. We can't imagine going through this. But on the other side of this, we deal with this with every single case we come across, right? The families are distraught. The people are hard. It's hard for them to concentrate. Many of our families can't go back to work. This swallows them up. Look at Kaylee Gonzalez's mom. Look at Seth Rogers. Look at Layla Santinello, her mother. All these people, after a major event happened in their life, are virtually unemployable in certain respects, right? Yes, they can go to work, but they're not there. And so people are looking at, and we believe that it's strength, and we want to support somebody. We don't want somebody laid up and depressed and everything. We want them to go back to work. We want them to start getting their life together. But we have all these other families that even years later, they're still struggling, and then we see Savannah just in a couple short months going back to work. And we also heard her worrying about, ratings while her mother was missing. Now, I'm not into that world, and I don't know her personally, and quite frankly, I don't know who was spreading that around, whether they truly knew or if it was just rumor. But that's what I heard, and I don't want to spread misinformation, so I don't know if that's a rumor or if it's true or not, okay? But if that is true, that's horrible. Whether or not she had anything to do with her mom, it's just that's the last thing anybody needs to be worrying about when they have a situation like this. And then the confusion around, did my light just die? I think one of my lights just died. I think I just had a light die. It just went out. It shouldn't go out. Huh. I gotta fix my light. Oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? Ass crack of morning without my lights. But anyways, you guys get the gist of it. We're having problems. Everybody's starting to turn on the family because the family is not participating. They're not keeping this story alive. They're not keeping this information out in the public. So they're not talking about speculative stuff. I mean, the family could really be working around the clock to make sure that everybody has the most up-to-date information that they can release. That means working hand in hand with law enforcement, but making sure that people aren't speculating as much. If we have facts to discuss, we're not going to be discussing theories and speculation. That is the key. So if law enforcement wants to manage social media and media better, it's keeping us filled with enough stuff to talk about that it keeps the speculation and theorization down to a lower level. Whenever there's a lot of silence and quiet, then that's amplified. It amplifies the conspiracy theories. It amplifies the theories based on theories and speculation and opining on opines, you know, where it's just a bunch of suggestions that are now developing into facts, even though they're not really facts. They're still just rumors. But this is all because of messaging. Messaging has to get better in 2026 and beyond because of social media. If they can keep us engaged and talking about what they want us to talk about, then we wouldn't be talking about the stuff they don't want us talking about. And there's the key. But no law enforcement body, in my opinion, has gotten it right except one so far. And no matter how many people are critical of the Idaho 4, their messaging, they kept us talking. And even it was just a crazy case, so people were still speculating on who did it. But there, for a lot of us, it kept us talking about locations and cars and stuff like that. When we were following the case, we didn't really have a whole lot to get distracted on because we were too busy following the cases they were giving us. You know, they wanted us to look at this area, you know, so we're getting up maps and looking at that area, scouring that area. They kept us busy. And that's what law enforcement needs to do. If you're keeping our hands busy, then we're not up your stuff. We're not up your crawl. Why? Because you're keeping us busy. Law enforcement needs to get smarter. Law enforcement needs to get smarter. I don't know what happened to this light, but now it's back on. Really weird. Weird stuff. We got lights again. I don't know what happened. That was the craziest. I've never had lights go out in the office before. All right, guys. Thank you so much for being here. It was a pleasure. It was nice to have the panel. I love the panel. As you can see, we thrive in panels because we've been doing panels for so long. And for like the last 2 years, we've been anti-panel, anti-call-in. And it's nice to get back to some of those panelings and talk, really getting and connecting with our audience. So I love it. Keep coming back. We're going to keep doing it. We're going to keep building this show. We're going to keep making this show one of the better shows out there with as much factual information as we can muster. Guys, rock it out with your coffee beans out. Don't forget to be fearless. If you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And until next time, please be safe, but more importantly, kind to one another. God bless each and every one of you. We'll see you soon.